What is going on? Happy noonday. On this day, we are about to get into all the things. Please give a like, give a share, tell your friends what's going on. We are about to unpack a bunch of things, and I'm going to comment on stuff. I'm going to give you comments that nobody wants, nobody asked for, but that's exactly why I decided to do my own little show, so nobody can kick me off or mute me. So if you're here, ask yourself why. Ask yourself, what are you doing? But we are going to bring it. There are some things going on in the market, so we are about to kick it off, and that's how we do it. Here we go. What is going on? I hope everybody is doing well. I want to take a moment to congratulate Eden. I think she is the newest Magic Eden ambassador. I think we can all agree that she had an unfair advantage because her name is Eden. I would also like to be a Magic Eden ambassador, so why don't you leave that in the comments? Let's tag Magic Eden. Tell them I want to help spread the message of all of the ruckus they are kicking up. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. We are about to get into it. BNB is headed for new all-time highs. We've been charting this in my podcast since about $290. It crossed 600. It has continued its parabolic rise. My new target is about $1,000. You heard it correctly. Ethereum is done consolidating, and it is waiting for a move to the good foot. What is going to spur that activity? It is coming. It's like a coiled spring, in my opinion. The wallet game is about to get really, really interesting. We're going to get into all that in a moment. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Thursday, June 6th. And it is time for some rare bits. The crypto greed and fear index has jumped 3 degrees to 78, back in that lovely extreme greed zone. NFT sentiment has remained neutral. Top crypto search term for the normies is Notcoin. Ticker sign NOT. It is up 78% on the 7-day. It has slid on the 7-day chart, but it is still moving. Top NFT search term for the normies is Cool Cats NFT. When this came up this morning, I just kind of decided to scratch the surface. So one, Quant has been delivering nonstop. It is a really cute ecosystem. It has great IP rights. They did the Thanksgiving Day parade. Highs for Cool Cats were above 10 ETH. It is now sitting at 0.25 or 26 Ethereum, which is, I don't understand it. This is a team that's delivering. And so one, I think it outlines how fickle, this space can be and how difficult it is to pinpoint what is actually going to gain momentum, which brings me to another point. When you find momentum, it is smart to take advantage and get some profits because the momentum dissolves quickly for no rhyme or reason. It is a fickle space. So it is interesting to see this, but it isn't interesting to see the normies looking for Cool Cats NFTs. Have they percolated into the mainstream? Do they have plushies coming out? They have a wonderful role model to follow, Luca, who has broken into all kinds of stuff with the Pudgy Penguin. So it is nice to see the normies are looking for Cool Cats, and I don't know why they are. The analytics don't tell me why, but it is an interesting point of topic. Now, we usually at this point, we touch on the NFT sales, but we are going to touch on that in a moment. And we have a new player in the top 3, second day in a row. It is absolutely crazy. What is happening? We have Bitcoin dominance. It has fallen in the 24 hours. ETH dominance has risen. Again, that coiled spring is getting ready to go. We have the total crypto market cap. It is about flat for the 24 hours, coming in at about $2.69 trillion. And before we get into some more news, let us crack-a-lack to some numbers for the nerds. And today, for the Bitcoin visualization, I am watching bitcoinnodes.io. It is a live map of the reachable nodes in the Bitcoin network being crawled by the Bitcoin crawler. So again, a fun visualization to watch. Oh, and look at that. I just pulled up the heat map And we have a bit of a change. And granted, this is on the 24-hour, but we are seeing a bunch of red into the picture. I want to click on the 1 hour, and it's about the same. So let's see what's going on under the hood. We have Bitcoin coming in at $71,365. So there are a couple interesting steps in there that we need to blow past in order to get Bitcoin just going parabolic. Ethereum is trading at $3,850. Do we see that crossing 4,000? If yes, when do you see that happening? BNB trading at 702. It has retraced about 1% on the 24 hours. It's up 169% on the year. Keep in mind that we have got all of the CZ stuff behind us. There is smooth sailing ahead. Keep BNB on your list. We have Solana at 173. It has also receded about 2% on the 24 hours, but still up 811% on the year. Keep in mind that fluctuation had a lot to do with SBF, and he clouded the waters of Solana. Do we see these waters clearing up? How high do you think it goes? When do we see Solana hit its ATH? Looking at the blockchains by NFT sales volume. And this is one, I've never seen this. And I wake up every morning and report on these analytics. And there are those days where it just seems so monotonous, right? But I believe in this ecosystem. I believe in the underlying tech. I believe in art. I believe in digital ownership. I believe in all of the things that make this space magical. I also love the currency that it sits upon. When we look at the blockchain NFT sales, it's forever it was Ethereum. We had a spot in the summer where Solana was just on a rip, and it was outdoing everybody. Then we had Bitcoin enter the ecosystem, and all of a sudden this new player began to shift the paradigm in many ways. And for quite a bit of time, pre-halving, Bitcoins were the rule of the roost, and they were tripling what everybody else was doing in NFT sales. Today, we have Ethereum number 1, we have Polygon number 2, Bitcoin 3, Solana 4, Immutable 5, and Mythos coming in at 6 with Blast down at number 8. Do we see Blast kicking its way back up toward the top? Do we see Ronin kicking its way back up toward the top with Axie Infinity? There are so many underlying things that could possibly make these wells just flood with water. So it's interesting to watch the ecosystems jockey for position. I now have pulled up the Ethereum heat map, and I breathe easier, right? It's some normalcy is back when we have Bored Apes in the pole position. Miladies were in the pole position for a couple days, and what's happening when that is your life? Yeah, I breathe easier when Bored Apes are on top. So we are going to get in the numbers, what they mean. We have, looking at volume, we have Bored Apes number 1, Mutant Ape, CryptoPunks, Pudgy Penguins, and Azuki rounding out the top 5. Here's a question. Please put this in the comments. So Azuki is currently trading at 4 Ethereum. Their price had a pretty good drop over the last, I'd say, week or so. Was there some part of the story that I missed? What's interesting about this space is often these ecosystems are very closed off, and news will come out, and if you miss it on your timeline, the regurgitation that X has is not super great. So if you miss news as it comes out, chances are you are going to miss it for good. So it seems like there was something that happened internally with Azuki that I may have missed, causing some price fluctuation. But anyway, it's interesting to watch. Mutant Ape Yacht Club trading at 2 Ethereum. They have been flat for a bit. Do we see them pumping up? And it looks like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, their floor has dipped below 12 ETH, but it's okay because they're still ahead of the Pudgies. Their floor is about 10.39 Ethereum. What are you guys banking on? And here's a question, because if ETH does go parabolic and just begin to rip, will it bring all of the other layers with it that are associated? Will Base and Blast, all of these other ecosystems thrive as well? Ethereum has such a diverse future ahead of itself. I think it's way too early to discount it. That's why I continue to refer to Ethereum as a coiled spring. Looking at some of the top sales over the past 24 hours, we have an interesting addition, which brings up a question I will pose. Please leave it in the comments. I will not read any of them. CryptoPunks are ruling the roost. Do we see these dropping below Man, 25 ETH. I think on the low side, they're about 29 Ethereum at the moment. Now, the number 7 top spot was a Clone X that sold for 18 Ethereum. That is $72,000. Granted, it is a good looking specimen of a digital asset, but is this wash trading or is there value in the Clone X ecosystem at the moment? It is an interesting question. I often wonder that about a lot of these questions. And there we have it. We have switched over to the heat map for the Solana ecosystem. And again, I feel better. Mad Lads have, they just hold this pole position, but they have seen some red lately. It looks like they have found their floor possibly, currently trading around 60 salamis. Now, if Solana has some bumpy roads coming ahead, do we see the NFT activity suffer because of these bumpy roads that may be up? We already know that Solana ecosystem is down across the board in comparison to Bitcoin and Ethereum and now to Polygon. But what needs to happen on the Solana ecosystem to revive the NFT side of things? I know a lot of the attention has been focused on meme culture and the meme coins that have come out because it's where the money is right now. And you can get in and out of these ecosystems. There is no problem with liquidity unless you're dealing with a rug token. But for the most part, you can get in and out as needed. And there are actually communities forming around these tokens. Have these communities replaced NFT communities? Is there a way for the NFT communities to coexist and thrive with these coin communities and become bigger and stronger together? That is a question for the future. I hope somebody is starting to create some interactive go-betweens between the NFT ecosystem and the meme coins. I have a bunch of ideas. Hit me in DMs because I have some crazy ideas. If you are a dev or thinking about putting something out, I would love to share some ideas with you. Looking at the top movers on the Solana ecosystem, we have Mutant Mad Lads, Famous Fox Federation, Claynosaurus, and GGSG, the Galactics. So, a couple interesting things. Coffee horn, that's what that is. One, Mad Lads, have they found their floor? So currently 60 salamis is about $10,500. I think they dropped down to about, I've been watching these because I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on a mutant or a Mad Lad. And the Mad Lads got to about 10-1 yesterday, and the mutants are about the same. So it's an interesting comparison to watch the two. Claynosaurus, it seems like they have been bumping up. Their floor price has gone up 24%. I think they got as low as 10 salamis. They're trading at 15.82. Is it a buy for you? Again, we have a focus leaving the Solana ecosystem. Will it come back? What will drive it? We have some interesting events coming up on the Solana side of things. Is it time to purchase one of these assets and get into a community before it is too late? Now, looking at, I love it. It changes as we're doing the live stream. So kicking off all of the top dust at the moment, it's all Mad Lads. It looks like the floor on Mad Lads is about, as we said, 61, 62 salamis, but we still have some good trades going for 165 SOL. We had one for 79 and one for 78. That is about $13,000 on the low side and $28,500 on the higher side. So people are still spending money on the Mad Lads. Is this an ecosystem you would move into? What do the Mad Lads have coming down the pike to make that a better acquisition than, let's say, a Mutant Ape? Please leave that in the comments. I will not read them. Looking at the Bitcoin ecosystem, we have the top movers. We are going to get into this. I have it on the 1 hour. I'm going to switch it to the 1 day. We have Evil Lord, which is a new contender. We have Frux. We have Runestones, Bitmap, Based Angels, rounding out the top 5. 769 sales by the Evil Lord. They are currently trading at $200 US. That is 0.0028 Bitcoin. There are 104 pending. So there is a shit ton of interest around this. It is interesting art. Is this something you guys are getting into? It's actually not bad looking. I might have to get one of these. 0.0038. So, you know what? It seems like there is enough activity around this, and this seems like, I don't know, the artwork doesn't bother me. Okay, so that I don't have enough in this wallet. So at 1.0033 Bitcoin, and I have 0.0038. Let's clear that out. You know what? And instead of buying something that I like, because this is probably going to be for a flip, I am going to buy the cheapest one. Sweep failure. I need to re-sign in with my wallet. I am not going to do this live, but I will get back to this. This is something to watch. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving on. I'm going to circle back to that. I may pick up one of those because there is so much interest around it. And again, I'm highlighting what makes this interesting to me, and I'll tell you. Just the fact that there are 107 pending sales. That is preposterous for this ecosystem in this current climate. We do not see that kind of activity. It could be one wallet, but it looks, I don't know, it looks like a smart play. So we will check in on this on the podcast tomorrow. They are currently $206 if you want to get in on the floor. Tomorrow we will see where they are stacking up at. Looking at the top sales on the Bitcoin ecosystem, we have Quantum Cats, we have OMBs, we have Node Monkeys, rounding out the top 3 collections that are making noise. We'd love to see it. Anything we want to double click on? No, everything is kind of moving as it should be. These guys, all of these collections have really held their value through the ecosystem's ebbs and flows, so it's nice to see. And as far as notable sales for the weekly highlights in our art corner, anything that has moved recently, yeah, we had a couple movements. So interesting, we had a Gazer Cell by Matt Kane, which is nice. We had Winds of Yawanawa from Rafik Anadol, so that sold for 3.57 Ethereum. And we had another Winds of Yawanawa by Rafik Anadol. That one I actually like. A lot of these I do not like. I'm not a fan of his still stuff. This actually looks like a flower, so it actually doesn't bother me. Not that it bothers me, but his motion stuff is magic. And when you capture a still image, it loses so much of that oomph. Okay, let's get into the runes. Have they ruined you? They have not ruined me. I have not jumped into them. The only thing green at the moment is epic, 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 epic. That's it. Of the top 5, everybody is down just a bit, and we'll take it. But we have Bank of Nakamoto Dollar. I don't know why that is not just sending. It is number 5. I don't know why it is not number 1. We will see what happens to that. Okay, and again, we are going to check one thing. We're going to look at trades for the 24 hours. We still have dog go to the moon, just commandeering the attention span of, it seems like everything. 1,168 trades is phenomenal movement in this ecosystem. So the question to you is, do you jump in on something that has that type of liquidity, that has that type of movement, that has Leonidas behind it, pushing it almost daily on X? Is this something you guys are into? Please leave it in the comments. I will not read them. Now we are going to get into some news and some other things that caught my attention this morning. We're going to start off with the top moving tokens. We have some green and some red. Pepe on Ethereum has come back to the green. That is a $6 billion market cap. I remember when that came out, just watching that. Holy shit. We have Renzo Restake. This is on Blast. The ticker sign is lowercase EZ, uppercase ETH. It is the Easy ETH. It is interesting to see this Renzo Restake token come out. Again, it has a $3.7 billion market cap. This is followed by Dog with Hat, Arbitrum, and Floki. These guys are in the red, but just by a little bit. As far as the top tokens that just ripped faces off this morning, we had Shiba Inu, ticker sign SHIN. This is not the SHIB that we know of. This was on Ethereum. Current 8.7 million market cap. Somebody was able to get a 75,000% gain on this token. Holy moly. And PayPay, which is PEI on Solana, has continued to move. Anything else we want to get into? Not particularly. We do have Bad Cat that made the top 5 on the top movers. And that is interesting because that is on the base chain. Now we are getting into some news that caught my attention this morning. So Galaxy Digital just created, it's not the first, but it's something that we are going to begin seeing a lot more of. It is RWAs, real world assets. They took a multi-million million loan on a Stradivarius that is 316 years old. This violin, they tokenized it and created digital tokens for it. So that is how they conducted this loan. I think this was actually owned by one of the queens. I do not want to bastardize that lineage and pick one, but and I pulled this picture because of, I'm moving on. Okay, next we have Azarius. They are partnering with Stream. They are going to enhance engagement between digital content creators and audiences leveraging interactive stream overlays. So just as doing some due diligence, I hopped onto this afternoon this morning, and it appears what this is. So if you are watching streaming content, and this is for, I guess, all creators, this enables you to do a pop-up window that has different games. I don't know if there are going to be tokens involved or there's going to be wins. No, actually, there are tokens involved, but it is their system, and you are only able to purchase things in their ecosystem. But the question still exists. Is something like this a valid way for content creators to start bringing in revenue in a place that is filled with content creators? Would you guys tune in and play a game? Would you participate in this? Would you tune in just for the content and the game would be an added bonus? And if you could take home some money, that would be great. Would it be your motivational factor for watching a show because there's an awesome game involved? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I will not read them, but you can still leave them. Next up, we have MetaMask. And I said this at the top of the show, the wallet wars, in my opinion, are just heating up. So MetaMask has just collaborated with Hyperplay. They've done this to introduce basically a gaming directory within the wallet. We have Coinbase. They just released a new wallet that does not require seed phrases. We have Magic Eden with an awesome wallet. That's right. The Magic Eden awesome is wallet. The Magic Eden wallet is awesome. And they just got a digital version. So I am beta testing that now, and I am super thrilled about that. But, okay, so we have MetaMask introducing some gaming aspects. We have Coinbase with the easy-to-use, great UX, UI. We have Magic Eden coming with their wallet, which has just been introduced, that partners with their ecosystem. It has just been released on mobile. We have Phantom has just released some cross-chain. So everybody is coming out with these additions to their wallet, making it easier to onboard people. And I've said this repeatedly in my podcast that the wallet is the key to the metaverse. If your client uses your wallet to access the metaverse, you win. It reminds me of when Google was able to commandeer attention, and when people decided to make the Google search engine their homepage, they won. That was the beginning. So this wallet to me is the next paradigm of that. If the wallet you are using is your key to the metaverse, think how important that key is, right? If you are a wallet creator, you want to be in charge. It is going to dictate your future, in my opinion. It is the game to be playing. Next up, we have Bitcoin. It is stabilizing above $70,000. There has been significant short positions indicating some rapid market movement. We are possibly going to see a slew of liquidations over the coming days. It is going to be good to see. And up on the screen right now, I have Wiener Dog. Wiener AI, they have so far raised about $4 million in their ICO. I talked about these guys the other day. They are combining meme coin culture with an advanced AI technology for trading. And anytime you have a dog with fart noises coming out of its butt, you got to celebrate it. So I am in it to win it. I have not purchased any of this. I did not get on the ICO. I just bring you the news. These are things I think are funny or might have some movement potential. I have not invested anything in that. Next up, we have global liquidity reaches a record high, potentially accelerating Bitcoin's bull run. When we look at charts from 2020 to 2024, these steep peaks in the new whale activity is significant. In 2024, we have had just a massive run up very recently in huge numbers. Granted, a lot of this is off of the ETF and what has happened, but this new liquidity in the ecosystem, it is going to oil this engine in a way that we have not seen before, in my opinion. Next up, we have Bitcoin options traders. They anticipate a huge breakout above $74,000. These option traders are always hoping for that shit. On the reverse side, if they miss these calls, they get liquidated. So again, all this is going back to this concentrated buy activity. So I like to watch this stuff. Matrix Port always puts out some good technical information, and I follow their stuff. You should as well. Now, on to Ethereum. We have Van Eck. They are predicting Ethereum is going to go ballistic. They have thrown out the number of $22,000 by 2030. Again, I say it as a coiled spring at the moment. Van Eck is absolutely known for these high numbers, right? And what's interesting about it, if you are a firm and you are enticing business, isn't it smart to project super high numbers? It creates excitement. That is how you onboard people. Whether these are exaggerated or not, time will tell. I do love their constant bullish predictions about everything going parabolic. But these guys are also the first people to apply for an ETF. So they have been in this game for a long time. The longer you are in the game, the more of a believer you become. And the momentum is undeniable. And so they could be right, but this may be a bit lofty for my prediction, but I do like to share it because it is news that is happening in the space, and I think it is important. I touched on this for a bit. We have Coinbase. They just unveiled their new smart wallet platform. They're aiming to absolutely eliminate network fees and revolutionize the on-chain experience. Let me say that again. They want to make the experience awesome for the newbies, and there's going to be no fees for buying, selling, and trading crypto. What? How are they going to do it? Details are in the pudding. Read my Substack if you are interested. It is an awesome initiative. Again, they understand the importance of this key. It is a key to the metaverse. An interesting gaming example is when PlayStation came out, they took a loss on every single console because that console was the key to their ecosystem. They'll take a loss on the key because you had to subscribe and purchase every single game moving forward. It was brilliant. At the beginning, the argument almost halted production of the PlayStation because it was such a loss out the door. They ended up being really smart money. Is that what we're seeing now? Is Coinbase making a leap like that? Are they just going to eat these costs in hopes of a brighter future? I am a huge believer in that brighter future. So mad props to them. Next up, coffee horn. This is something I didn't have a bunch of time to jump in on this. This was early this morning, but we are going to start seeing this term DPIN gain popularity. Many projects are going to claim to be DPIN projects when actually they are not. So it is one of these terms that gets thrown, that we'll start hearing it. It is going to be thrown around, very similar to how we heard DAOs being thrown around. Everybody's starting a DAO, and they had no idea of actually what the DAO was, how it was structured. DPIN is another one of these buzzwords we're going to start hearing. If you are interested in learning more about it, check my Substack. I did a write-up on it. And the secret sauce for today is doubt will tell you. What if I fail? Courage says, even if you do, you're going to learn something. Find that courage. That's it. Still craving crypto clarity? Subscribe to my Substack today. Warning, rare bits may cause hodling. On Tag Magic Eden, tell him I want to be an ambassador.